I heard it. I heard it, chat.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it. But
Yeah, I do,
you
Oshawott.
could have,
We just bought that and equipped it.
because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Kokichi pulled out some thin needles. He stuck them in the keyhole of the lock. A click, a click, a click, and a clack. There, open says me.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
I bet you did.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Yeah, it's Kokichi.
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense?
I was
Can't you
actually
lock a
asking
door
this
by
question.
picking it?
Can you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room.
Which is also true. They locked the room through the back door
They used a different method.
with the sword thing.
What different method?
Are you saying they can't,
Yeah,
Moss?
Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was.
The back door. Eh.
That's it!
No, that's wrong. Oh wait, no, it's right.
The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding lock from outside was... Mind Mine! I think it's this, so I want to try and get this out of the way. Ooh. Can I click this? Probably not yet. Dang it. False. So do I want to click this whole thing? I need that other. I'm glad it was over on that side.
I see it!
You cannot lock a door with lockpicks.
The
Very
gold
cool.
leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
Just like every time there's a sword.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school school bell.
Oh, really? But yeah, I agree with Oshawott. They could have used magic.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
I'm glad they even alluded to it like that.
Gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with a katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
You just twist Kaede's...
The clue that might
thing.
give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigy's hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Right. Different purpose. What could that have been? The culprit somehow used the setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Psych taxi. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, if there's a Monokuma, we're gonna run over it. So next you want to play Mario Kart. Like, that's all I can think of with these. There's nothing else that this reminds me of than Mario Kart. Especially the newer ones. Did they announce one for the Switch yet? The next Mario Kart? I know you can play like the older one on it. What turned the handle of the sliding lock? We literally just answered that though. Right? Didn't we just answer that? I'm so glad you hit me and ran me over. This freaking minigame, man. Japan. Next question. Making me swerve all over the road? That's like scary. There's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Okay. And that was for the Wii U, though. I don't think that's not specifically for the Switch. I know you can play it on the Switch, because I think I have, with the little controllers. But you get all the DLC characters. Thank goodness. I've always wanted more DLC. We're trying to keep our eye out for Monokumas. What was done to make the katana turn the lock? Swing the effigy, something like that. It's just a port. That's what I thought. I'm confused by that answer, to be honest. Yeah, I'd wait for the next one too, Divination. I liked the double dash, because then you could have more people play at the same time. Because you'd have two people on one cart, and you'd have essentially the first main person is driving, and the second person is dealing with the items. Which is cool. That kind of co-op I don't mind. But sometimes in games they'll just throw co-op in there for no reason. That doesn't really fit. And I can't stand that. I'm actually not that excited about the next Smash Brothers either, because it just seems like a cop-out. I'm glad there's going to be a new one, but There's only one new character that probably nobody was thinking about putting in there. Swinging, how does manipulate to make it swinging back and forth? I'm gonna say spinning it, to be honest. Yeah. I was almost gonna do back and forth, but I think spinning it would have worked a lot better, because then you could stab it in there, like, start her spin, open the door, close the door, and wait for the spin to stop, and then bam, hits it.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy
They still don't have Waluigi. I mean, he's a summon, still, I'm very sure.
was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
That's
Yeah.
right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I wonder how many times they had to do that.
So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
It's kind of like we do one of those the YouTube videos where they do like a really far basketball shot from like the top of a roof or something, and they have to be constantly aware that it's not gonna do it the first time. So I'm wondering how many times the killer had to do this.
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave.
Oh, they are
This
absolutely
would cause the
super fun to
spinning
watch,
katana to
Divination.
hit the sliding lock.
I forget which channel I follow, but I
And
like
thus
watching
was
those.
the
They're
back door
fun.
of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Also, I know you were asking about for my reactions for some things. I did a major upload to my YouTube earlier today before I rested. So I uploaded like the 20-something videos that I've been slacking on for this game.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Oh, I love it when that happens.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
Probably, yeah.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility.
But that would mean that why would the killer actually go through the whole trouble of actually waiting for that spin trick to work?
But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Uso da yo?
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Yeah.
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
Man, Himiko's about to be cool.
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
Which is actually a good plan, but I still don't think he did that on purpose.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
All right, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Snap.
Cum dumpster!
Wow.
Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
Wow.
What should we talk about now?
Nice to meet you all.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab.
River Fallen, thanks for having me on your host list. Truly appreciate it.
Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry.
Yeah, Moss, that was some pretty good timing.
Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
Divination, that's true, which is disgusting.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
And energy.
Me? A suspect? I never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
It's a very good point.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Oh, that's a great name.
Suspect Rangers?
To fight for being a suspect.
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Yeah, I don't understand why Tenko had to die there.
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
Yeah?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie.
I'm now looking at Tenko's X, trying to see if it has like a symbol in it. I think it's just a fancy X. Or like a whip.
Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
It's her pinwheel hairband. Oh, thank you, Divination. I didn't notice that.
Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Himiko.
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
I'm looking at Rantaro's. It just looks like a smear.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Take your own advice, bro.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
That's a revelation for you, Kara.
Kokichi, enough!
If that's the way you think you are, then
No. It's
still
okay.
a friend.
It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now.
And I think Kaedes is like a bow for a musical instrument. I don't know what the thicker one is, though.
I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now.
Dude.
Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
Yeah?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. All right. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse.
Magic.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died.
I assumed we were going to do this, but
If
I'm
we
glad
don't find
are.
out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever.
It's true.
Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to... not just...
Stop. Need to get the bottom of Tenko's death, not just to survive this trial, but so he can keep going and live on.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrouch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
I'm not convinced of that.
Tancrouch!
Also, yeah, I just kind of accepted that as a way for Mew to call somebody by name. The people who attended the seance. People attended the seance, which were Kyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Bees? I think. Because there were 5. Right? No, Kokichi wasn't in it. Dagnabbit.
Oh no!
I have to read all those names and figure out... Okay, wait. Himiko, Kyo, us, and who was the other one in the corner? Kyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi. Kokichi wasn't part of it, was it? He was in the first one? You guys are saying first one, so I'm gonna trust you.
That's it!
Okay. I don't know why I didn't think Kokichi was part of it.
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
I should remember that because we just looked over all the evidence. Thank you guys.
So those 4 are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the 4 is really
Kokichi.
Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
Dang it. That's my other guess out the window because you're not supposed to guess that.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
That's true, Kara. I should remember that. Thank you.
If we all knew of it before the murder, then
Dingus.
we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
But it doesn't matter which room we selected because they were all cut. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle one. The middle room's always best for stuff like this. Magic.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Point of entry from outside. He must be referring to this thing.
There!
There's a hole in the corner. I was afraid somebody was going to fall down.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
I'm getting such big vibes from the first murder and the second one. Just, like, that's all I can think of.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Turtle Man, that's like every game ever, or every session of Dungeons and Dragons.
Another suspect? Who?
Yeah.
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
He's probably gonna say it's Kibo, because he can have a flashlight.
The culprit sneaked in during the
listen.
seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
Alright, divination.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
What does this actually say? Function that Mio had added to Kibo. He can emit a blinding light from his eyes.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
It's true that with a little light, you could move around under the floor. But is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Those
by
your favorites?
crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
Exactly, Oshawott.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
I'm thinking about the stone
Because it
when I think
wasn't
of the
dark
knife.
under the floor.
You gonna good night? Good night,
You
Turtle.
see,
Thanks for hanging out.
Our villain had a light.
Have a
Light?
spiftastic
You mean
Thursday.
candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the...
No? I figured it'd be too bright.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Hmm.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light?
Loose 4 Replitenko was not loose before the seance. Red blood.
You mean candle?
I mean,